Welcome to Business Law course. This is the fourth part of finance law. In this part, we are going to discuss the other kind of financing activities in finance law. Credit card is a financing activity to purchase goods and or services using a credit card. Our society is familiar with this type of financing activity. In credit card, someone can purchase something or using a certain services even though actually at that time they don't have money to purchase or use the services. So here the financing activities is conducted by the issuer of a card that will pay for the user the price that they have to spend, but then the user have to pay it back to the issuer of a card. In this type of financing, the user can use the card as the tools to pay for the price he has to pay, but then actually the one who pay for the price is the issuer of the card, and then the holder of the card should pay it back to the issuer of the card. As a tool of payment, credit card is very useful for party that still have to wait for the money they actually would earn. Let's say that the wage that would be received at the end of the month or at the beginning of the month, but they need to buy their daily needed, so they have to buy it, but they don't have the money at the moment, so they can use the card and then they can pay it back to the one who issued the card, whether it's simultaneously in one-time payment or by an installment. There are four parties involved in credit card operation. So the first one is issuer. Issuer is a party or institution who issue and manage the credit card. Usually the issuer in credit card is bank. You might be familiar with many kind of credit card issued by Indonesian bank like BNI credit card of Mandiri credit card from another bank like BCA and etc. So here the bank will be the issuer, or on the other word we can also consider the bank as the party that give the fundraise to the user who need the support of the fundraise to buy what they need or to use the services they need. And the second party is the acquirer, is the party that represents the interest of issuer to channel card, do the tax collecting and making payments to the merchant. The acquirer is usually also an institution that usually close related to the bank. You can see in the credit card there are some level of company there which is positioning themselves as the acquirer. The third party is the card holder, is the one who need the fundraise from the issuer. Usually is the customer of the bank, so they can use the credit card. Let's say I am the customer of Bank BCA, so I can asking and propose for the credit card from BCA. So I am the card holder and BCA is the issuer. So using the card issued by the BCA, now I can buy and use the services that I need, and I can pay it with the card. So actually I don't do the actual payment using cash, but here the payment will be upon the responsibility of the issuer, which is the bank, and then I have to pay back to the bank. Could be in one-time payment or in installments, depend on the agreement and also depend on the facilities given by the card. And the fourth parties involved is the merchant. The merchant is the seller of goods or services which its product bought by the card holder. Let's say that you want to buy your housing equipment in Carrefour, so you have the credit card of CIMB Niaga, and CIMB Niaga is the issuer. They have, let's say, for example, cooperation with Carrefour. So here Carrefour is the merchant, so when you buy in Carrefour, they accept your payment with the credit card of CIMB Niaga, for example, or another issuer of credit card that has cooperation with the merchant. Here you can buy there using the card. Besides that, usually the merchant gives some facilities or privilege when you use the card to the transaction in the merchant. Maybe they will give you some discount or some bonus if you pay the transaction with the credit card. Again, to know your right and obligation, whether you are the card holder or the issuer, let's say that you are the bank or the financing company who give the facilities of credit card here. So you have to read the agreement, the terms and condition between both parties regarding the credit card facilities. So if any of the parties doesn't follow the agreement, so then you can fight for your right. And here are some institutions that doing business in credit card financing activities, mostly are banks, but it doesn't mean only those banks that mentioned here that do this kind of business activity. There are more banks doing this, and you can find it out in many references. To conclude, credit card is a financing activities in giving support for a certain party to purchase a goods or a certain services without doing a cash payment, but they could do it using a card, and it is very useful for someone who doesn't have the cash or the money at this moment, but they would have it later, so they still can buy what they want to buy, and the payment is funded by the issuer of the card, which is mostly a bank, but then the card holder or the user have to pay back the payment to the issuer. The terms and condition, and also regarding the penalty of the late payment and other provision, is based on the contract and agreement between the issuer and the card holder. So this is the end of our fourth part of finance law. Thank you.